What's up, everybody? This is Carly talking to you about isolation. And I want you to know that at some time in your life, some season in your life, you are going to be isolated. If you want to grow, you're going to be isolated. So you need to know how to know that you're walking into a season of isolation, what to do when you're in isolation, how to come out of isolation, and most importantly, what is the purpose of isolation? The purpose for isolation is growth. Sometimes, a lot of times, when it's time to grow, you don't need distractions. And so you will be put in a season of isolation to minimize distractions. Because, distractions will keep you from your destiny. Distractions will delay your promises. And we want what God has for us on time, in its fulfilled purpose, in its fulfilled season. We want all that God has for us. So it's time for isolation. The whole purpose of isolation is to propel you. It's to grow you. It's to cleanse you. It's to get rid of those toxic things, those toxic beliefs, principles, and behaviors. It's time to do away with those things. So you need to be isolated. You may be in an environment of toxicity. But how are you going to become pure if you're not cleansed, if you're not removed from toxicity? How? So you need to be removed and put alone. This makes me think about Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible. He was a king. And he was so prideful. He thought he was God because he was the king. And this to let you know, God has control over Pharaoh's heart. Listen to me. He showed it with the plagues. And as a matter of fact, we're having a plague now. God is still God in the pandemic. God is still God of the king. The Bible says that he's King of kings and Lord of lords. Don't ever forget that he's still God. He's still God. He's still on the throne. He's still God. He's still God. But this makes me think about Nebuchadnezzar. He was so full of himself that God said that he was going to humble him. And he humbled him. For 7 years, he lived in the wilderness, eating with the beast. Now, personally, I think God would have got me the first day. God, you know what? You can have this pride. I don't want it no more. I've been out here cutting up. You know what I'm saying? I can't be out here with these animals. But God said, the Bible said for 7 years, he was humbled. And he was out there eating with the beast, living with the beast. God is still God. But understand, and then when he went back to his kingdom, he was a whole new person. But he had to be isolated. Do you know how detrimental your growth is to God to isolate you from people? Like, you can't be around one person, King Nebuchadnezzar. He couldn't be around nobody for 7 years. Listen, I want to grow, but that's intense, okay? That's intense if you ask me. Nevertheless, when it's time for isolation, you will find yourself being removed from people. People removing themselves. Thank God, right? People will remove themselves from your life. You will remove people. And sometimes you may remove yourself. That is how you will know that you are going into a season of isolation. If you find yourself constantly conflicting with a certain person, conflicting with a certain spirit, if you will, it's time for isolation. I remember years ago when I decided to be celibate. Before then, I was out here throwing booty. I ain't finna sit up here and lie to y'all. I was out here throwing booty to this one guy. Now, I wasn't out here in these streets, out here. That was a different season. But I was throwing booty. Now, don't sit up here and judge me like I ain't never did it before. Fornicating, throwing booty. Don't play. Anyways, I had decided that I didn't want to club anymore. I decided that I wanted to be pure, and I had several reasons to do so. And I realized that if I'm going to be successful at being pure, I've got to make some changes. So the first thing I did, and I didn't know half as much as what I knew now. The first thing that I did was I threw away all of my whorish clothes. Y'all know them clothes y'all be wearing when you go to the club because you want the man to look at you. Them clothes. Some cute clothes, I believe. My friend, she was like, no, that's not hoish. Come on now, you going too far. I'm like, nah. You don't know how I feel when I got these on. Listen, nah, this to trigger some stuff. We can get rid of this. So I did a mini cleanse. I went through all of my clothes, and then I'm like, oh God, what am I gonna wear? Cause I need something to wear. But anyways, got rid of some stuff, and then I decided I'm not gonna go clubbing anymore because the environment would entice me. You know, the music. I ain't finna start naming songs, but y'all know what I'm talking about. When some songs come on and you start thinking about, oh, I remember when me and so-and-so, me and John Doe did our thing to this song. I didn't need those memories. So I found myself in a place where I had to make a decision. Either it's my friendship or it's me. Either it's my friendships or it's my purity. And I chose me. I got to a place where I needed to protect my ear gates and I needed to protect my eye gates. So I couldn't hang around certain people anymore. And you want to know something? This one girl in particular, we were still friends at the time. We were still friends. She started getting uncomfortable to the point where she didn't want to invite me no more. And it put a strain on our relationship because it was like, so we're not going to do that anymore. Are we still friends? Like, are we going to do other things? And then she would feel uncomfortable. And fast forward to today, I understand it. Right? But understand, isolation will cost you friends. But it's worth it. The best version of you, the pure you, the cleansed you, the healed you, the whole you, the best version of you, it's worth every friendship that you have to disconnect yourself from. Every sacrifice you have to make to grow into a better version. It's worth it. So this is how you will know you're coming into a season. You will start to notice that this environment is not conducive to me anymore. I have outgrown them. I've outgrown their conversations. I've outgrown the environments, the festivities that we will have. I have outgrown it, and I'm in a new phase, and I want to focus on healing. I want to focus on being better. I want to focus on being better for myself and for God. I'm in a new place, and in order for us to continue to be friends, you will have to change with me. Because I'm not staying here anymore. When you start to feel like that, like you don't belong anymore, you're about to walk into a season of isolation. Oh yeah, you're about to remove people that have been here for years. Understand, people who have been here for years, it may be their time. The only thing that is constant is God, period. So no, we're not supposed to. You're supposed to love who's in your life, but don't cling to them. Don't hold them. I have found myself in situations where God would say, okay, it's time for them to go. And I'm like, okay, well, God, well, hold on. Now, wait a minute. They can go, but they can go. And I believe this is one of the reasons why God had Abraham to sacrifice his only son, because he needed to know that you will sacrifice anything at the expense of me. You will love me more than you will love whatever it is that you love. That there's no idols before me. It's a time for isolation. When you find yourself loving something, idolizing something more than God, it's time for isolation. It's time for God to put things in its rightful place. It's time for you to be removed from this detrimental environment. How does it benefit you? How does it feed you? How does it? Is it growing you? Is it giving you new principles? Is it challenging your beliefs? How does it benefit you? How does it? So you need to put yourself in a position where you're okay with isolation. And so what do you do when you are in isolation? First off, you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. This is unknown territory. This is a purging season, and it doesn't feel good, but it's okay. And why are you comfortable with it? Because you know it's effective. It is effective for your growth. It is effective in purging you. It's effective. This is why. That is the reason why you need to be okay with it. That's what you do in the transition, in the isolation. And then you're casting down, you're changing. So if this means that you need to get a psychiatrist so they can pull up some stuff, uproot, then you get a counselor, a psychiatrist, whatever you want to call it. If you need to go through a series of questions and answer them so God can reveal to you what's going on, what's been happening in here in your heart, that's what you have to do. Whatever healing looks like for you is what you have to do. If you have to detox from people and from food, that's what you have to do. You have to do what you have to do, and I think it's just that simple. It is. And so how do you come out of isolation? You come out with a heart of gratitude. You come out with a heart of jubilation, with humility, because you know that you have not lost nothing, but you've gained everything. You have not lost anything, but you have gained everything. Come on, somebody. If this person has walked out of your life, but they weren't supposed to be in your life to begin with, you just gained peace. Come on now, you just gained room for somebody that's supposed to be in there. What did you lose? What did you lose? You didn't lose anything, but you gained everything. Come on now, you made room. So you leave, you walk into isolation to your promised land with instruction, with execution, and with humility. That's the transition. You walk out with humility. You walk out with gratitude because you know that this temporal moment has served. Listen, don't make your moment of your transition, your moment of isolation. Don't make it 40 years like the children of Israel. They were supposed to be in there for what, less than a month. They made it 40 days. Somewhere along those lines. They stayed in there for 40 years, y'all. 40 years. Come on now. 40 years, couple of days. A month. 40 days, 40 years. Right? But you come out with gratitude saying, you know what, I done went to hell and high water, but hello, here I am. Here I am. And I'm not coasting. I am well above water. You ain't barely making it out. Come on now, you flourishing. Come on now. But anyways, that's all I have for you today. I just want you to know that it is time for isolation. Be prepared because it's effective, and make sure you are comfortable being uncomfortable, and leave isolation with a heart of humility and gratitude. Thank you. Make sure you comment, you like, and you subscribe. Thank you. Bye.